So now we have a new twist in the Michael Gaine murder case. Michael Kelley is an American who moved to Ireland. He was arrested and later let go in connection with the Gaine death. He has filed a complaint with the Garda Ombudsman. This is a group that looks into complaints about how the Irish police conduct their business. Kelley says he was treated unfairly during his interview last month. They only kept him for about 24 hours and they let him go because they said they didn't have enough evidence against him. He was arrested on May the 18th after human remains were found near the farm, but Kelley says he had nothing to do with it. He claims he's being set up by some type of organized criminals. During the police interview, they showed him pictures of a chainsaw that they found on the farm, which they think might have been used in the murder. Kelley called that ridiculous, totally ridiculous. His complaint is now raising more questions about how the police handled the interviews, and it might cause some problems for the case moving forward. Back in May, parts of Michael Gaine's body was found in the Slurry tank.
The remains confirmed to be those of Mike Gaine. We kind of knew that, but still, the confirmation, even more sad news for the family.
Yeah, very sad indeed. And I suppose everyone, including the investigating team that are investigating this from Killarney Garda Station or based in Killarney Garda Station, were working on the assumption through, I suppose, logic that this was, these remains were Mike Gaine, but the confirmation coming through, I suppose yesterday early, the confirmation coming through that the DNA had confirmed it. And I think the family, that was public confirmation. The family, according to sources, had been notified a number of days previous to that, because they've been kept up to date at all times by a Garda liaison officer, and that's a very important role for Garda Síochána to play for them, because it's a very difficult period and a very difficult time.
Remember, that Slurry tank was already checked and cleared. However, when the police rechecked it again, guess what they found? They found the body parts of Michael Gaine. So this is their second time checking that tank, and the second time, that's when they found the body parts. That's when the case officially became a murder investigation. Here's a quick breakdown of the timeline. On March the 20th, Gaine was last seen in Kenmare. On March the 21st, he was reported missing by his family and his loved ones. On April the 29th, the case was upgraded to a homicide. Then, May the 16th through the 17th, human remains were found during farm work. And those human remains was found by his workers as well as his nephew. On May the 18th, Kelley was arrested but later released without being charged. On June the 6th and the 7th, Gaine's funeral was held and a rally car tribute was included during the funeral procession. There's also something else that's going on. About 4 weeks ago, Irish officials told Kelley that he had to leave the country before his asylum request was denied. That means the Irish government didn't accept his reason for staying in the country. Even though he was supposed to be deported, he is still living in Ireland while the case is still going on. That is beyond odd to me. Why would you stay there? It's obvious they don't want you there. Why are you staying there? Now, with Kelley's complaint, the case could take a different turn. If the ombudsman's find that the police didn't follow the rules, some of the evidence or the interviews might not be used in court. This can change the direction of the entire case. People are still waiting to see what the ombudsman decide. Also, scientists are still testing the chainsaw and other items, and the police might have to rethink how they move forward with the investigation depending upon what's next.
Right, back to the Michael Gaine murder case. I've been looking at the words of Michael Kelley. Now, he was arrested, questioned by the police around the murder, then let go. But he's given another bizarre interview to the press. In that interview, he's asked how he feels about Michael Gaine, how he feels about the murder, and he doesn't express any emotion at all. It all comes across as very cold when we break down his words. Also, he seems to know some information or have some thoughts on when the murder happened, where it happened, how it happened. How does he have those words? And also, he talks about not wanting to be caught out. Now, who says they don't want to be caught out? Well, liars. People with something to hide don't want to be caught out. People who are truthful don't tend to use the words caught out.
6 weeks ago, Michael Gaine disappeared from Kenmare, County Kerry. What was initially a missing persons case has now been reclassified to a homicide investigation.
Michael went to the farm on the 20th of March. He never returned home. We are absolutely heartbroken. We are devastated. Our lives are shattered.
From the moment Michael was reported missing, there have been extensive searches carried out. From the Gardaí, from the community, even the army has been brought in. Gardaí have carried out over 320 formal inquiries, have taken almost 130 witness statements, and have recovered over 2,000 hours of CCTV dashcam footage. But Michael's disappearance still remains a mystery that has left people wondering how, in this day and age, someone can vanish without a trace.
Extensive searches utilising specialist equipment have been carried out for the previous 5 weeks, which have failed to locate Michael. The disappearance is completely out of character and entirely at odds with the pattern of behaviour established by the investigation to date.
Gardaí have now commenced a formal criminal investigation and say there is a person or people who know what happened to Michael.
Gardaí are seeking information from any person who can assist us in bringing Michael home to his family.
Michael comes from a tight-knit community which has been left puzzled over the disappearance of their friend and neighbour. His family has been left with a distressing uncertainty as they continue to search for answers.
He was my best friend, my husband. He loved his home, he loved his farm, he had lots of friends. He was a very popular guy, and his disappearance is totally out of character. This whole thing has been devastating. If there is anybody that has any information about Michael, do please come forward and talk to the Gardaí. We just want Michael to come home. We want to know what happened to him. Because if we can't find Michael, I just don't know what I'm going to do.
So I am stumped right now. I cannot figure out why Mr. Michael Kelley is staying in Ireland. He is a U.S. Citizen. He was a previous Marine. What is keeping him in Ireland? I don't think that the Irish people are digging him right about now. He was served with deportation notice after his asylum request was denied, but this is not the same as a deportation order. It's an early step in the process, and it doesn't instantly force somebody to leave. He is allowed to appeal the decision, which legally lets him remain in the country until that appeal is resolved. Meanwhile, he is required to report to the Gardaí station every 4 or 5 days to renew his permission to stay in Ireland. So, although he was told he needs to leave, the appeal process and his reporting requirements mean he can still legally stay in Ireland, especially since the murder investigation is ongoing. I tell you what, if I was you, Mr. Kelley, I would be on the first thing smoking back to the United States, because it is obvious that Mr. Gaine was loved by Ireland. He was loved by his community, he was loved by his family, and he was, loved by his neighbors. And you staying there is, I think, irritating a whole lot of people. And now you have reported to police. I think you need to go.
They hate you. You're gonna die. I don't want to do this.